Welcome to today's prenatal workout. We've got a 15-minute Tabata for the upper body today. You need a set of light to medium weights. I'm using 10s, but you could go as light as 2.5 up to 10. Grab your weights. We're gonna get started with our first exercise. We got 30 seconds, upright rows. Ready? Pull those elbows up and back. Bring those weights to your chest. If you're not warmed up, be sure to check out my playlist for warm-ups before this workout and make sure we're nice and ready to lift those weights. So feet are under hips, knees soft, so we're stable through the body, abs are braced, and then we're pulling those elbows up and slightly back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're gonna do 2 rounds of everything, so consider this one just your warm-up round. Last one. All right, moving on to a push press. So take those feet a little bit wider than your hips. We're gonna do a little half squat and then press those weights up. So rack them on the shoulders, hips go back slightly, and then we push, back, push. Weights stay slightly forward, so you should always be able to see them out of the corners of your eyes. I'll show you from the side. And it's not a full squat, you can see that. My hips are going back, but I'm using my core, my glutes, and my shoulders to create that momentum to lift the weights. It's a tough one. Rest. All right, moving on. Feet back under those hips. We're gonna go front raise to a lateral raise. Knees soft, abs tight. Take those weights straight up, front of the shoulders, out to the side and down to the legs. Let's do it again. We go straight up, out, down. So when we bring those weights up, they stop just under shoulder height. Can you see that? And as I'm moving the weights, you can see my body is still. I'm using muscle control rather than momentum. Unlike that push press, this one is isolating the shoulders, so nothing else is working but those arms. And your core a little bit too. Rest, drop one dumbbell, moving to a single arm thruster. So feet just a little wider than hips. Rack one weight on your chest or on your shoulder, arm out for balance, half squat and push. So think like that push press. It's the same thing, just one at a time. You're thrusting your hips, driving that weight straight up in a vertical line. The bicep should be by your face. You wanna breathe out, brace that core at the top. It's Tabata, so we're not just doing weights, we're doing cardio with it. So we get that heart rate up, challenge our strength. Rest. We're gonna move to the other side. Whew. I love this one. You get a little bit of everything. Other side, let's go. So this one, we're working those shoulders, core, and glutes like the push press, but we're working each arm individually to get the benefits of muscle symmetry. We all got a stronger and a weaker side. This allows you to work them both so it gets more even. 8 seconds left. Rest. All right, both weights up. Carefully pick it up from your hips. We're gonna move to a dead row. So we're gonna hinge at the hips, butt back, chest up, abs tight. We're gonna pull both elbows to the back and then release to the knees. So elbows to the back of the room, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and you can see I'm keeping a flat back. My chest is lifted, my chin is tucked, I'm looking out about 6 feet in front. My glutes are switched on, core is really tight, and if you can see me from the front now, you can't see my elbows, right? Keeping them in tight to engage that back body. Rest. All right, we're gonna move to a bicep curl. Not just a curl, we're gonna do a curl with a pulse. So we're gonna come to the middle of that range, about belly level. Take it up, pulse it. 1 inch up, 1 inch down. So my elbows are in, wrists are strong, and then I'm just moving those dumbbells about 1 inch above and 1 inch below my belly button. And the mid-range is where the biggest burn is. So we get more bang for our buck than just doing regular bicep curls. You feel it, right? 3, 2, 1. Good work. All right, we're gonna do a bicep curl to press. Feet back under your hips. We're gonna curl and then take those weights to a shoulder press overhead. Brace your core, let's go. curl, rotate knuckles to the back, come back through that curl and release. So we curl, press, curl, release. I'll show you from the side. So elbows under shoulders, squeeze shoulder blades. And as I'm taking those weights overhead, I'm being really careful to brace my core and not arch my low back. So keep those knees soft. Breathe out as you take those weights overhead. That'll help you engage your core. Time. All right, moving to a tricep extension. So just one weight's needed for the next couple exercises. Feet under hips, hold the weight, the ends, take it overhead, and then take that weight back and down to the base of your neck, and then straight up to the ceiling over your shoulders. So you can see from the side, weight back and down, knees soft, abs tight, so I'm not arching my low back. We really want to prevent that here. It's a tendency, especially during pregnancy, to let that work go into your low back, and we want to keep that core switched on. And then elbows are in as I lift. Nice big squeeze right here. Nice. All right, moving to the floor. Drop your dumbbells. We're going to a narrow to wide push-up. So hands come under your shoulders, abs tight. We're gonna take those elbows to the back, chest to elbow height. Walk the hands out, mat level or mat width, and bring them back in. So push up, narrow, push up wide. Chest goes to elbow height on both those push-ups, but the difference is your elbows are to the back on that narrow push-up, and then they're wide on the wide push-up. You get it. Keeping that core tight the whole time, and if you need to, bring your knees in closer to make it easier. Rest. We're gonna do a tricep kickback. So you'll need one weight here. Come 90 degrees at the knees, tip forward from the hip, bring that weight to your hip, and then extend it straight back. So from the hip, straight back. Elbow is nice and high. Extend the arm. This is a difficult one with a heavier weight, so feel free if you need to, drop the weight here. And we're leaning into that front leg to create that resistance, but we're not collapsing. We're going to push through that forearm, keep the chest up, and then keep the core nice and tight. Let's rest here. We're going to move on to the other side. Here we go, weights to the hip, extend, bend. As you extend that arm, think like you're trying to touch your pinky finger to the ceiling. Almost there, guys. But that's just round one. We got another round coming. All right, back on our feet, both weights come up, upright rows. If you want to, it's our last set, you can go heavier. Good posture, abs tight, let's row, pull. Now you'll notice some of these moves you can maybe go a little bit heavier, some you might need to go lighter. It's all good, just do what you feel comfortable with. And we're doing 30 seconds. If you need a longer break, feel free to take one. Traditional Tabata is only 20, but I don't know, I just thought 30 seconds. We needed a little more time today. Why not? Rest. All right, move into that push press, take your feet out a little bit wider. We're gonna rack those weights on the shoulders. Remember, it's a half squat. So use those glutes to drive the weight. Breathe out, brace that core. This is the opportunity to get your heart rate up. So let's take advantage of it, come on. Ten seconds. 5 seconds, we got it. Rest, front to lateral raise. We're starting to feel that fatigue now. Feel free to take a longer break or drop weight. Ready? Bend those knees, abs tight. Weights up, out, down. Remember, we isolate here. Lower body is grounded, abs are tight. And as we lift those weights, especially in the front raise, we don't wanna take it back. We're gonna keep good posture here. Keep that work in the arms, out of the lower back. Looking good, guys. Almost there. Rest. We're moving on to our single arm thruster. One weight goes down, feet just outside hips. Rack that weight, arm out for balance. Let's drive up that heart rate. Remember, elbow in, bicep close to your ear. Abs tight, use those glutes to lift. So these moves are full body, dynamic. So we're getting that heart rate up. Also using the lower body a little bit too. Almost there. Time. Moving to the other side. And in all these moves too, you're getting your core because you have to brace your core to stabilize. And every time you take that weight overhead, let's go. Your core has to work really hard right here to help you keep that weight overhead. So this is your PSA. If any of these moves are really hard, you can't take a weight overhead, work on that core. I've got lots of core videos on my channel. Last 5 seconds. Time. Both weights, dead rows. Careful when you bend up. Hinge at your hips, not your back. Feet under hips, tip, and then pull. Elbows to the back. Big squeeze right here. Chest stays up the whole time. Abs are tight, glutes are switched on. That means you're squeezing just a little. The weight's in your heels. We're less than 5 minutes from the end. We got this. It's time to push. Break. All right, bicep curl pulses. On the bicep work, remember you're gonna need it. You gotta carry that heavy infant car seat. Take it up and pulse. Those things are no joke. My daughter was born early, so she wasn't even that heavy, but that car seat, it's like 25 pounds just on its own. So you'll thank me when you're lifting that car seat. You'll thank me for these pulses. 10 seconds left. Stay strong, keep those elbows in. Time. All right, quick rest. We're moving on to that curl to press. So really switch on that core now because those weights are going up. Here we go. We curl, rotate, press, curl, release. Knuckles to the back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Brace that core at the top. We got this. Time. All right, moving on to that tricep extension. One weight goes down. Feet under hips. Hold the weight at the ends. Take it overhead, all the way back and down. Base of the neck. Remember, hips are still. Chin is tucked, but your neck is lifted, chest is lifted. Elbows in as you squeeze to lift. Point those elbows to the ceiling. Nice. Moving to that push-up, narrow to wide. Keep that dumbbell close. So hands shoulder width apart. Take that chest down to elbow level. Walk the hands wide as the mat. Chest elbow level. Bring it back in. Wrap those elbows around your ribs. And then push the elbows to the corners. Now if you need to, you can bring your knees in and that will alleviate some of that pressure on your core or on your arms if it feels too difficult. But I'd rather you go lower than not go to elbow height with your chest. So bring your knees in if needed. Time. All right, moving on to that tricep kickback. Kneeling position. Forearm resting on your thigh. Pull that weight to the hip and then extend. To the hip, extend. Elbow stays nice and high. Weight stops at your hip. Take that pinky finger to the sky when you take that arm back. Now if this one is too hard, you can always release at the bottom so you come down before you pull that elbow up. That'll make it a little bit easier. Rest. Moving to the other side. Reset that posture. Forearm resting on the thigh. Let's take that weight up and back. Big squeeze in the back of that arm. This is what defines your tricep, this move right here. So with that overhead extension, we really built strength. Now is where we get that little dip in the back of the arm. Almost there, guys. We made it. There you have it. 15 minutes, upper body Tabata. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments.